Hey guys, what's up? Russ here. First day of the new year, January 1st, 2023, and I want to kick it off by starting my own tag video. Now, I'm not going to tag anybody specifically in this. I'm going to leave this as an open tag. Feel free to do a video and join in if you would like to. And the tag is origin story. I want to hear your comic book origin story, how you got into collecting, why you love these characters, and why you still collect. The majority of you guys know my origin story, why I got into collecting, but I'll quickly go over it. As a kid, I felt alone. I had these walls up. I was bullied. I was picked on. I just was miserable. And I discovered comics, and I just got lost in that world, just escaped into it. And the first book I ever picked up was Action Comics 688. Still right up there on my wall, right at the beginning of the Reign of Superman storyline. And I was flipping through it, reading it. I decided to spend my lunch money on it. And that was it, man. I just escaped into that world of collecting and fell in love with the character of Superman. It was like everything that I wasn't, you know? And I feel like it just made my childhood better and just easier to get through. I stopped collecting when I was 20 years old, and I had to sell off the biggest majority of my collection, which at the time was like, I think 6 long boxes. And the only box I kept was my long box of Superman comics. I put that away, saved it, and I didn't collect for like 15 years. I didn't start collecting again until I was 35, 36. And I started again because I was going through my closet one day and I was moving stuff around and I saw that box of Superman comics. I pulled it out, I started flipping through it, and just all of those old memories started flooding back, man, and my love for the character. And it just, boom, it started up the collection again. So I went from having 6 long boxes when I was a kid to having just the one, not collecting for like 15 years, and then boom, a ton of short boxes and slabs, and yeah, just awesome stuff, man. The first thing I did when I got back in after looking at those Superman books was try to put back together the same collection I had when I was a kid. And luckily, the hugest majority of those were still dollar books, so I was able to almost complete the collection again. Plus, I added a whole lot more to it. And I still love collecting today. Not so much the new stuff anymore. I'm still focused on like the older stuff because I started watching guys like Metarog and Night Tiger. And I started going back even further past when I started collecting. Going back to the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, the bronze, silver, copper age, and getting into those books and collecting those. And that's kind of what I'm focusing on today, getting the older books from like the 60s up to the 90s. And I love it, man. I don't know if I'll ever get tired of collecting. It filled a big void in my life as a kid, and I suppose in a way it still does. So, I want to hear your collecting origin story, and it doesn't have to be just comics. It could be whatever you collect, whether it be pops, action figures, statues, posters, anything that is considered collectible. I would love to hear your origin story on how you got into it. So if you feel like making a video, again, this is going to be an open tag. I would love to hear your stories. Alright, that's it for today. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
What did you say his power level is? It's over 9,000!